Welcome back, everyone. Look, if you're a focused learner trying to master the culinary arts efficiently, you are in exactly the right place today. We're going through the ultimate explainer on creating the absolute perfect, crispy, classic Besan Pakoda. You know, the beloved vegetable fritter. I am so incredibly excited to share this with you because we're going to break down the actual professional techniques that take a simple snack and completely elevate it to absolute perfection right in your very own kitchen.
So let's just dive right into it. Have you ever tried making fritters at home only to end up with just a plate full of total disappointment? Yeah, we've all been there. You pull them out of the oil and they're either completely waterlogged and soggy, heavy and dripping with grease, or even worse, burnt to a crisp on the outside and completely raw on the inside. Well, in this explainer, we're revealing the exact professional secrets that solve every single one of these common frying failures. No more guesswork, guys, just perfect results. To get us to that crispy perfection, our roadmap today is super simple. Step 1, mix vegetables and spices. Step 2, make the batter. And step 3, fry till golden. Let's jump in. The essential ingredients. Okay, so it all begins with the veggie base. And precision is absolutely key here. We're using 1 large sliced onion, 1 small thinly sliced potato, and 2 chopped green chilies. Notice the really specific cuts here. We aren't just roughly chopping things up and tossing them in. Slicing the onions and thinly slicing the potatoes ensures they cook evenly and rapidly in the hot oil. The green chilies, on the other hand, are chopped to distribute that heat perfectly throughout the whole fritter.
Now, for our batter base, we start with 1 cup of besan, that's graham flour, the classic, earthy foundation of any great pakoda. But we're also going to include a massive professional secret, 2 tablespoons of rice flour. While it's technically optional, adding rice flour is the ultimate pro tip to achieving that coveted, shattered glass level of extra crispiness that we all crave in a fritter. To really elevate that flavor profile, we need our aromatics. We're talking half a teaspoon of carom seeds, or ajwain, half a teaspoon of red chili powder for a nice kick, and a 1/4 teaspoon each of turmeric for that gorgeous color, and asafoetida, or hing, for that unique savory depth. Just add salt to your taste and finish the whole thing off with 2 tablespoons of fresh coriander leaves. This exact ratio guarantees a complex, beautifully seasoned bite every single time. The secret moisture trick. Now, this right here is where so many home cooks make a massive mistake. For our very first move, taking just about 5 minutes of prep time, you're going to grab a bowl and combine your sliced onions, potatoes, green chilies, fresh coriander, and all those beautiful dry spices. Mix them incredibly well. But notice what is entirely missing from this bowl right now: the flour. We are completely holding off on the besan and the rice flour at this stage. The magic number here? 2. Once everything but the flour is mixed, you absolutely must let the mixture sit for exactly 2 minutes. Why? Well, because the salt and spices draw out the natural liquids from the onions and potatoes. By letting it sit for 2 minutes, you're literally forcing the veggies to release their own natural moisture. This creates a deeply flavorful, naturally wet base that's going to act as the perfect glue for our batter. Building the perfect batter. All right, so once those 2 minutes are up, we transition into hydration. Now, and only now, do we carefully introduce our dry flours. That's the cup of besan and the 2 tablespoons of crisp-enhancing rice flour going right into our naturally moistened veggie and spice mix. You really want to mix this gently. Since the vegetables are already wet from the previous step, the flour will immediately begin clinging to them, starting to form a paste before you've even added a single drop of extra liquid. You might need a tiny bit of extra hydration to bring it all together, though. And that brings us to our absolute strictest professional rule. If you need water, you sprinkle it in exactly 1 tablespoon at a time. Not a cup, definitely not a heavy pour straight from the tap. 1 tablespoon at a time. We do this because the whole goal here is to create a thick, sturdy coating around those veggies. If you add water too quickly, you risk making a thin, runny batter. And a runny batter, it'll just slip right off the vegetables the second they hit the oil, leaving you with bare, burnt onions and a pan full of floating, sad flour bits. We want a thick, sticky coating that hugs every single slice of potato and onion. The golden frying roll. So our perfect, thick batter is ready to go. But think about this for a second. What is the absolute secret to a perfect fry? We've got the right ingredients, we forced the moisture out, we made a beautifully thick batter, but honestly, all of that incredible prep work can be completely undone in the next 8 to 10 minutes if we don't master the environment we're dropping these fritters into. Temperature control is literally everything. If you blast it on high heat, you're going to violently burn the outside of the basin while keeping the potato and onion completely raw on the inside. It is incredibly disappointing. But on the flip side, if you get impatient and use low heat, the fritters basically act like little sponges, absorbing way too much oil and resulting in a heavy, soggy, greasy mess that nobody wants to eat. So here is the golden rule, the absolute non-negotiable for perfectly cooked, beautifully crisp fritters every single time. Fry on medium heat. Medium heat is the ultimate sweet spot. It provides enough immediate sizzle to crisp up the outside and seal the batter to the veggies, but it's gentle enough to allow the heat to penetrate all the way to the center, perfectly cooking those potato slices over a few minutes.
All right, with your oil sitting perfectly at medium heat, it's finally time to fry. The practical instruction here is super vital. Drop lemon-sized clusters of your thick batter right into the hot oil. Sizing really matters. If you make them too massive, the inside just won't cook. If you make them too small, they'll turn into hard little pebbles. Lemon-sized clusters guarantee an even cook and that perfect ratio of crispy outside to tender inside.
Once they hit that shimmering oil, you just fry them up, flipping occasionally for about 4 to 5 minutes. You'll actually get to watch them transform. The pale yellow batter is going to bubble and sizzle, slowly expanding and hardening into this magnificent, rigid, golden brown masterpiece. You'll know they're done when they tap hard against your slotted spoon and possess that stunning, deep golden color. To finish strong, you'll want to pull those gorgeous pakodas out of the oil and drain them immediately on paper towels, just to wick away any excess surface oil. And hey, presentation is key. Serve these absolutely hot. They are hands down best enjoyed fresh right out of the fryer, paired brilliantly with a bright, acidic green chutney or alongside a steaming, fragrant cup of hot chai. So, there you have it. We've mastered the 2-minute moisture trick, the thick batter rule, and the medium heat frying secret. Armed with these professional techniques, this exact same method can be applied to almost anything in your kitchen. So I'll leave you with this. What veggies are you going to try in your perfect batter next? Cauliflower? Spinach? The possibilities are literally endless now that you have the ultimate blueprint. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy frying!